All right, Bobcat fans, we're here inside the halls of Hallsville ISD. This segment sponsored by Roof Masters and Bubba's 33 in Longview, Texas. Our guests today are Coach Norton and Miss Carr. We've got a little forensic science and library with us. How are y'all today?
We are
Fantastic.
great.
Yep.
And let's just go right into it because we got some cool stuff coming up in the forensic science class. Tell us a little bit, and I'm going to ask the how, what, when, and where, but let's start with the what. What's going on right now?
So right now, we spent the first semester learning about how to work a crime scene and all the aspects of what that looks like for criminal science investigators, or crime scene investigators. And so now we are putting that into practice with their very own, I guess, homemade crime scenes. Each class is doing one.
So when you talk about crime scenes, do y'all go in and fingerprint and check for clues? I mean, is that what this is about?
Well, we don't actually do fingerprints, but we do, like if the crime involved a fingerprint, we would have a fingerprint piece of evidence there, not actually a fingerprint.
We ain't dusting everywhere.
Right. We haven't quite done that or learned that yet. That'll be this semester. But yes, we are all the aspects. If there's blood involved, we'll do blood and
DNA
and all that kind of fun stuff. It's kind of made up, but it's still, they get the idea of what it would look like.
Well, heck yeah.
Yeah.
How do you decide, Coach, what crimes you want them to study? What does that process look like?
So for this project, the students make up their own crimes. So we had 8 different groups, and they got to create their own crime scenario, just kind of an overview of what it would look like. And then they presented them to the class, and the class voted on them. And so if I was the one that won, I'm now the lead investigator of that crime, and I'd tell everybody kind of what they're supposed to be doing, what their jobs are.
So what crimes did won the contest?
So for one of my classes, it's called Eva's Revenge, and it's 6 friends who are, one of the friends is kind of overlooked and bullied a little bit, and she lures the other 5 friends to this lake house and then just does mean things to them.
There's a backstory to all of them.
There is. There's a backstory to all of them.
Don't bully is what I'm saying.
There is a backstory.
How do we get Guy Walker involved in a crime scene is what I want to know.
We can make that happen.
He could be the outhouse man or
there
something.
You go, yeah.
That's kind of scary at first, but comes up and is helpful.
Yes, there you go.
And I think it would work out well.
He's got like in his shed all the mass.
So bringing Miss Carr into this, because the where is in the library. How do you get involved in this, Miss Carr?
Well, I caught wind of it last year. That was her first year to teach that class. And we have such a great library, and the space there is just phenomenal.
It's nice.
It's very nice. Yeah. And so it came to my mind. I'm always kind of trying to forward think, how can we get kids into the library? How can we get kids? And so when she broached this subject about, crime scenes and that, I said, why don't we just do it in the library? We have all this space. We'll corner it off with caution tape. And at that time, I thought it would be one class. And I think you brought, how many, 3, 5?
I had 4.
She had 4 last year. And so they, in between our a space in there, each class took one of those spaces. And there were, dead body outlines. There were all the clues and
everywhere.
Things. Yes, there was a lot of stuff everywhere. So if you know Coach Norton at all, she is open to anything. She's kind of like me. I am too. So we kind of put our heads together and said, hey, this will work. Let's do it. Get these kids in here.
So we're going to do that again this year in the library? And
yes.
What dates does the crime scenes need to rope it off and stuff?
So we're going to be working the next 2 weeks, with our weather days that we had. The next 2 weeks, just finalizing everything and getting everything put up. And then the last 2 weeks in January is when the students will work them.
Yeah.
So
how long does it take for the students to solve a crime?
So that just depends.
And what happens if they put somebody behind bars that was innocent?
Well, that happens as well. But honestly, we have some really smart kids, and they, when they collaborate together, usually they can figure it out they're pretty witty, also with all the crime shows. And so, but we did have one group last year that struggled. They just were talking over each other, and it took them probably 2 class periods, which would be 3 hours to do it, to solve it. So.
But it's neat. They come in with all the props and everything. I mean, they have a costume, they have their little clipboards, and they have little bags that they put their evidence in. I mean, she goes the whole 9 yards.
That's
it's great.
cool.
That's
It's
everything
fun.
we learn first semester, like how to collect evidence, how to photograph, all those things. And so they get to actually hands-on doing it instead of sitting in the classroom doing it.
So if me and Mark was doing it, right off the bat, I'm planting some evidence just that way, because I'm not going to be wrong who's
go.
guilty. And the shadiest person, that's the one that's guilty.
I know
Obviously.
who would be the lead detective. I do know that.
I don't want to be planting evidence. I know that.
So what class is this, Coach?
This is called forensic science.
Okay, it's for just
Just forensic science, yes. It's the science part of just solving a crime.
Well, cool. And Ms. Carr, while I got you here too, I want to know what all. I know we got this going on in the library, and I remember last year seeing it. There were so many neat things set up through. What else do you got going forward in the library for this semester?
Yeah, so in January, we have a reading books challenge. It's called 25 and 25. So we're challenging students to read 25 books this year in the year 2025. And thanks to Bubba's 33, we have all these amazing coupons that when students come in and check out books, we're able to give them a free pizza coupon thanks to
cool.
Bubba's 33.
Sweet.
So we're so thankful for that. And then we have National Shelfie Day is coming up. We'll be out for MLK Day, but we have lots of things in there to be able to learn about that time. And then also we have National Hot Chocolate Day is coming up in January. So students that check out library books, will be giving them packets of hot chocolate they can go home and read by the fire.
Now, I know, Ms. Carr, what a selfie is. What is a shelfie?
You got to find the bookshelf that you love, like fantasy.
Okay,
Get up there and do a
I
little
got
shelfie.
That's cool.
And then
Yeah.
I will post it on our Instagram account. Yeah.
I got
Very
you.
cool.
Had me going right there. I didn't know what
stuff,
damn
right?
shelf it was. Thought it was like the elf on the shelf or a book on the shelf or something
Something
like
like
that.
that.
Guy on a shelf.
That's a big shelf right there.
Well, we're excited about everything y'all got going, and we thank y'all for joining us here today and Inside
Thanks
the
for having us.
Halls.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Fans, we'll see y'all next time.